you guys to pay attention when you do highlights, and this is important, and I think it's very, very important, and I want to do it quick before I go. So see, when you highlighting, so we take up the hair and you go like this.
And you again.
This is not correct. Put a little closer, Nancy. Because as you pull up like this, zoom it in, you see? Like you see how big the hair is right here? And the hair, when you put a foil in, it's not gonna be close. Okay? I think Bailey might notice. There we go. So what I want to change a habit, if everybody have to, is make sure. Are you getting it close? Zoom it in. Zoom in. Nancy. Make sure that you get the hair directly from the root. So don't pick it out here, because when you pick it out here, you're not gonna have the hair in the same plane. So it's not gonna. You're not gonna put the foil in, and it's not gonna hold because the hair's everywhere. But at the time you pick here, it looks good. When you lift it up, it does not look good. And then it will drag. And when you fold it, it will create bleeding. And it also, it's not gonna look nice. So what I want you to do is pick it right from the roots. But this is important. The very first piece of someone's temple, especially you're doing blonde highlight on somewhere, hair is quite dark. Try not to not go like this, because look, if you do like that and they pull back, there's a big piece of blonde that is not gonna look good. And then when you put the bleach right here, it would not look pretty. When they pull the hair up, they have like a gap right here. Would not look good. So what I want to do is like do it. You wanna make, some people say I don't like it chunky. Some people say that. It's okay for you to pick it skinny, but why? Because chunky means when they let the hair down, it looks like a big chunk, but doesn't mean when they pull it up, there's a big chunk of hair going in. So the first piece right here should be very skinny, especially right at the temple of the hair. And so a lot of time people are misunderstanding chunky means like this. So chunky means thin right here and wide and big space in between. So this is chunky. Close in, you see? So this piece are wide and they have a good space in between. Do you see what I'm doing? Yeah. So when you pull this hair up, they are soft. And make sure, people's hair tend to have little baby fine hair. Make sure these are being picked in. So you do close to the roots and do it like that. And when you do, see how the difference is? And you can actually get them close to the roots. And this piece, make sure that when you do, you pay attention where the hair is coming from the hairline, so there are consistently pieces up. Especially when they come to the recession area, a lot of time, this recession area get ignored, and there is a hole right here that's dark. Right? So make sure this is our, if I have a hair highlight, I come home, I pull my hair up, and I have an inch of growth, or I have an inch of growth, I would not be happy.
So with the receding area, if there's like breakage, like I try not to highlight that just so it gets some health back and like kind of grows out.
So there's the situations where the hair is fine and it's short in that area. So you have a couple of options. Is that you can bump those a little bit after, or you want to stay dark. But if they have like the big hairline like this, and they're completely dark, and there's blah 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 and blah blah, and when they pull their hair up, it looks ridiculous.
That how you want to word that.
Okay. So when you foil, always being mindful when we're working right against somebody's face. So make sure those pieces are coming. So someone asked me the other day, how come sometimes I do this way, and sometimes I do this way, and sometimes I do like other ways. It depends on the head shapes and their hairlines. So if their hair is like this, curve, right, real curve on the top, and you're trying to put a straight foil, it's not gonna be on the both sides, it's not gonna reach, and then you end up having like bleeding on both sides. So you have to change this where you can do it where the foil will lay directly on the head. So instead of trying to drag the foil down, and then when you move back and forth, then the foil will start lifted, and both sides will create bleeding. Okay? Sometimes I do this because that's how the hairlines go. And sometimes I would do this because that's the only way I can get the little baby hair in. So there's no right and wrong, just do what works for one individual. As always, at my experience is trying to foil the dark hair first and then go to the light hair later. Or if you're gonna do the normal way, make sure you're changing the formulas as you go, because sometimes hair around here is very baby fine and you started here first. Body on top is get really dark and thick, and this one's sticking orange and yellow for a long time, and this one is already overcooked. Unless you take the time to go rinse this out, this one is gonna sit a long time. To save time when you're done and the process, at the same time you don't have to go to visit your client and tell her, I have to rinse you, I have to do this and that. Like because you have a client in between that always started on the darker area first, so it'll be done at the same time. It's a pain for you to stop doing what you're doing to go rinse the sides out, unless you had someone to do it for you. But you have to be mindful of doing that.
Also, if they had a dark and then sometimes they paint dark color in the end, we can use different value in the end, right?
I always encourage you guys to do. It's the best to do. It's a little more tedious work when on the same foil you do a different formula. But it's always best to do that, because otherwise it's going to be two zones that you have to work with, where this is zone is already blonde, this one's zone is stay orange. You pick that so she can get the phone.